Happy Sabbath. So happy to see you all here today. Mark, you can put some pictures up. How many of you like to ride a bike? Do you ride a bike? Yeah? Is it fun? Nathan likes to, but he likes to ride anything. Anything you can ride, anything that has a motor, especially, but horses too. Anyways, this story is a true story that happened to a pastor in Brisbane a few years ago. It was actually during COVID. So, have you ever been in a race? No? Well, not a professional one. So, this gentleman, he was a pastor, and he was a little overweight, and he just wanted to get in shape, and he thought, I need a goal. I need something to work towards. I think I'll do the race that happens in Brisbane every year. It's a bike race that lots and lots, hundreds and hundreds of people like to do it, and they work out, and they get in shape, and they ride, I don't know how many miles it is. Maybe you can put the map up, Mark. And there it is. That's where it goes. And if you know Brisbane, it's quite hilly, and there's lots of roads all over the place. And this goes through on some of the main roads, but it also goes through some of the small roads. And this pastor, he thought, you know what, I'm going to just really work really hard. I don't care if I win. I just want to do it for fun, and I just want to have a good time, and I want to get in shape. So he worked hard, he exercised, he studied the map. He studied hard. He wanted to make sure he knew where he was going. So he did the actual route several times. You can just flip through pictures, Mark, if you want. And that's somebody winning at the end. And so when you get into these bike races, you'll see when you watch them. Now, my dad used to watch the Tour de France every year, and you'll notice that they cycle in groups. And there'll be big groups together, and once in a while you'll see an odd person just off by themselves. But there's a reason for going in groups, is that if you're the back person, you're actually benefiting from the windbreak from the people in front, so it's easier to keep up. Anyways, he worked really hard, and he decided to do this race, and the time came for the race, and he was like, well, he hadn't lost all the weight he wanted to, but he was like, he had definitely gained some muscle and got stronger, so he decided to get started on this race, and he got started, and as he went, they lifted the flag, and everybody took off, and there was groups here and groups there that were kind of sticking together, and he went up a hill, and as he went up the hill, he looked to the left. For some reason, this group of cyclists, took off down the road, and he's like, wait a minute, I don't think that's the right way. Should I go with them? No, I'm just going to go what I thought was the right. He just kept going. He's like, you know what, I should probably not follow them. I don't know why they're not going the way I'm going, but so he kept going, and there was more cyclists past him, and same thing happened again. They took off a different way, and he's like, that's so strange. But I studied the map. I'm pretty sure I'm going the right way. I'm just going to keep going. So he kept going. And then every once in a while, he would see an odd cyclist, one of those odd ones, just like taking a different turn, and he'd be really confused. Where are they going? Why are they not following the right way? He just couldn't understand it. So anyway, he kept cycling, and he kept cycling, and he got to the end, and you know what? He won the race. This is a true story. It happened during COVID, so there weren't as many cyclists as there would normally have been, and I don't know why there was confusion over the way. But there's a lot of object lessons in that story, right? We need to study the guidebook that God has given us, because every day we're in a race. We're not racing against each other. Who are we racing against? We're racing against ourselves and sin. We want to defeat the enemy in our lives, right? He's trying to outrun us. But God has given us his word that we can consult every single day. At the start of our day is where we need to be on our knees asking God, what do you want me to do today? Which way do you want me to go? Should I follow the crowd? No. Unless they're going in the right way, how are you going to know? How do we know if they're going in the right way? Any thoughts on that? If they're following the Bible, then it's fine. But what if they're not? How do we know? We don't know unless we're in God's word, right? So every day, children, remember, so we're trying to have morning devotions with our children to set them in good stead, to make those right choices, to understand his word, and to make those choices throughout the day. And we as parents and church members can set that example too. You can go back to your seats.